this verse. And we hope that you will guide us for all of the food.
Amen. Okay, so today I want to talk about topics everybody is focused on today, that right? Because the Middle East crisis. And there's so much we can learn from this Middle Age crisis. And we can tell us, okay, God is God. And Jesus is God's son. And let me tell you why. So if you look at this history, this is actually the near-term history from 1948 to up to date, that right? But before that, there's another history, 3,000 years of history. 3,000 years ago, Israel did not exist, get wiped out, okay, by the Babylon and by the Persian country, okay, Persian kingdom. So all the people of Israel, the Jews, get spread out of the world, okay, everywhere. So that's why Russia had the Jews, Europe had the Jews, Asia had the Jews, America had the Jews everywhere because they went through so many wars. Okay, everybody take over, Roman, all the stuff. But however, in the Bible, it says very clearly, I'm going to disperse you all over the world. Then later, I'm going to call you back from all the corner of the world and come back to this promised land. So Israel is the only country in the human history disappeared for 3,000 years, and the country come back again. So 1948, at the Holocaust. The Holocaust is a very sad story for Jewish people that. But then it's a turning point for the Israel country come back again, follow the prophecy inside of the Bible. Okay. So 1948, after Holocaust, everybody have so much sympathy for Jews. And at that time, the UK, United Kingdom, ruled these places. Most of them are Palestinian people, okay. All the green area means Palestinian people. And this white area means where the Jewish people live. So you can tell Jewish people at that time only a few 100,000 people. And Palestinians have like many million people, okay, in this so-called promised land. So it's very hard to tell the difference between Jewish people and the Palestinian people. Why? Because they were together, okay, before. So in 1948 until now, they have a many war. But because the Jewish people is what? The most wealthy people in this whole world. They probably control, I'm guessing, 20% of the world assets, the money. You didn't know, all the bank, okay, big bank, all the deposit, everything, it belonged to Jewish people. Okay, so when they have a fight, okay, when they had a fight against all the Palestinian people, fight with Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Iraq, all surrounded them, they always win, even they have such a small group of people. In 1948, because all the Jewish people come from all over the world, okay, come to start this country again. They only have like 1 million or something, okay, 1.2 million. Okay, but however, because Jewish people have the money and Jewish people have the political power in United States and United Kingdom, what happened? United States support them. If United States support them, United Kingdom support them, they're going to win. Even today, when you have the problem, guess what? Which two countries come first? United Kingdom send their battleship, and United States send a two carrier to support Israel. Why? What's special about it? Because a lot of Jewish people had money, had the political power. So United States is a Christian country, so they connected to Jewish people, right? Because the Bible talks about Jewish people is the God chosen one. So that's what happened. So through the 4 or 5 big war, okay, if you're old enough, I've been through most of this war, okay? Because I was born 1951, and Israel was formed 1948. So I experienced most of the war. It's amazing, just miracle after miracle after miracle. Because the Arabian country around him, around Israel, it's like 50 times, no, probably 100 times more population. Okay. And they can beat him. Okay. And the Israel country is another important fact. Okay. The Jews are the chosen people because they get spread all around the world. And the Nobel Prize winner, okay, their population is 0.2% of the whole world. 0.2%, very small. But population of Nobel Prize winning is 20%. Can you imagine? It's like a thousand out. Okay, that's why they're the God chosen people. People in the Arabian country trying to wipe them off, but never happened because God's there. God's there. So this is what happens throughout the war. Israel keep expanding their territory. Every time they win the war, they expand the territory. They expand the territory. They expand the territory. And Palestinian people have the less and the less land, less and the less land. And lately, what happened? Lately, what happened is, let me get this. Israel illegally, so-called illegally, take over the land from Palestinian people. Then they build so-called a settlement. That's how they expanded the Israel country. Israel country today has, I think, 9 million people in Israel. Okay, 2 million Arabian people and the other 7 million Jewish people. Okay. So this is more like a settlement. So they just flatten the house from the Palestinian people, take over their land, sometimes with compensation, sometimes most time without compensation, because they control, okay? Jewish people control it. Sort of, you sort of understand why there's a Holocaust. People hate Jewish people because they don't share the love, they don't share the mercy. They just, because they're smart, they have money, they rip off the poor people. That's what people all over the world don't like Jewish people. That's why you had the Holocaust. And that's why they had to come back to Promised Land to build their own country. Except United States treated them very well. So this is a settlement. And this is the reason called this Middle Age crisis lately. Because Palestinian people keep losing their farmland, keep losing their house, and get driven out, and they're not happy. So all the terrorists keep trying to get even with the Israel people. And Israel government just keep expanding their settlement. A lot of more people moving in. The Jewish people all over the world keep coming back to the Promised Land. That's why when you see they interview some of the Jewish officers, the Israel officers, they speak perfect English, just like American, because they are American. Okay, they all come back from the United States back there. They are American. Okay, like a general. It's just they're American. So this is a different kind of settlement. Think about what happened. So the Hamas attacked the Jewish settlement, okay, because they're along the border, very close to Gaza Strip. They killed 1,300 of them. What do? They just go into the house and shoot the baby, shoot the woman, shoot the old lady. And if they run like man or a soldier, they just beheaded them, okay, and leave the head on the ground. So it's very gruesome scene. And that's why everybody, okay, just hate them now. Most of them hate them now. Because they're the terrorists. And then obviously they're going to get wiped out in the Gaza Strip. But then, of course, Israel have all the power, all the weapons, and they're supported by United States. So they have airplane, and they have this kind of humongous, like the bomb is heavyweight bomb. Okay, they can just very precision. So if you have like a 30, 40 floor building, just one bomb, two bombs, the floor, the whole building collapsed because so precision. They say hit the basement, hit the bottom of it, all the supports get collapsed and everything just falls down. So they fall down. When the building falls down, all the building next to this building say, okay, maybe the glass is shattered. And that's how precision the bomb it is, because they produce the precision bomb just to attack the terrorists without hurting the other civilians. So they send the email, I send a message, okay, or they send a text message to all the people living this building, say, okay, this building going to go wipe out in 20 minutes, leave. So they all leave, and they come back, this whole building collapsed. So that's why after 6,000 buildings get wiped out, they only have like 1,500 Palestinians die. Okay, many thousand get injured. Otherwise, it's probably a few 100,000 people will die. So this is pretty much, I think, Americans behind it say, hey, you can attack the terrorists, it cannot hurt a civilian. Okay, cannot hurt a civilian. So take revenge and this. So what happened now? They cut the water, they cut electricity, cut the supply, cut the food, no gas, nothing can go into the Gaza Strip. Okay, this is the Gaza Strip. Okay, this tiny spot is Gaza Strip, and this so-called West Bank. This so-called West Bank, and Jordan's here. Okay, so after a few wars, they start winning back here. So Gaza Strip very small, but have 2 million people living there. So of course, everybody get hurt. Both sides get hurt very badly. Think about it. If you were Israeli people, if you're Jews, of course you hate it because all the terrorists coming in and kill your parents, kill your kids, kill your wife. Of course, very bad. But then you look at the Palestinian people, it's pretty bad too. That all the family have to get driven out of their house. They don't have nothing now. They used to think about it. You used to live in a nice house. Today, you leave a house with your parents, everything there. Tomorrow, gone with 2 bags. That's it. Okay, you had to walk, you had to leave that area. And this is what happened to other Palestinian people. This is statistics how the casualty. Israel, 1,300 people died just by the terrorists. And the Palestine, about 1,400 people died because of all the bombing. Okay, all the bombing. It's very sad story. That can you imagine so many people get hurt, so many families? So suddenly nothing. Okay, suddenly nothing. And this is what happened to New York. Of course, New York have a Palestinian people, Arabian people, and they have a Jewish people. So they protest against each other, shouting at each other. What's interesting thing is both sides get hurt, but no one of them have objective view of the whole thing. They only have always my side view, okay, my perspective of this. So Jewish people always say Palestinian people so bad. Palestinian people say Jewish people always so bad. Truth is, both are bad, both are good. All right. Truth is no justice here, no justice here. And this has been happening for the last 70 years. And the terrorists, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and now the Hamas, Hezbollah, okay, all Arabian and the Palestinian organization, terrorists are everywhere. In 70 years. The Jewish people and then whoever support Jewish people, again, they have a terrorist, okay. I don't know if they heard about the Olympic in Munich, okay, about 60 years ago, or 50 years ago, Palestinian terrorists kidnapped 15 Israeli athletes in the Olympics, okay. And the Israeli special forces trying to save them, they couldn't save them, all get killed, okay. Many of these kind of things happened before. They shout at each other. Guess what? Both are well educated. Both are good people. If you don't know they belong to Palestine or they belong to Jewish people, if you just meet them on the street, they're well educated, well behaved, and good people talk to each other. But guess what happened? When this happened, it become enemy. They don't care. It's like, I'm right, you're wrong. No, you're right, I'm wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. So no justice. no objective view of the whole thing. Everything's subjective. So the question is this: how did that happen? How did that happen? There's a history, it happened from where? Happened from Genesis. It starts from Genesis. So I'm trying to explain to you what the root cause and what the solution. Okay, the topic is so interesting because it's all related to the Bible. It's all related to the Bible's teaching, all related to the Old Testament and the New Testament. Okay, then I tell you, why God is God and Jesus, Son of God. This is recorded in the Genesis 16. Everybody knows Sarah, is that right? So now Sarah, Abraham's wife, had borne him no children. But she had an Egyptian slave named Hagar. So she said to Abraham, the Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my slaves. Perhaps I can build a family through her. So Sarah suddenly had this good idea. So I'll do it. And don't worry about God's arrangement. I'll do it. And you can have the families through my slaves. Okay. So Abraham agreed. So Abraham was not smart either. Okay. He didn't wait for the God's arrangement. God already promised that, okay, you're going to have a son. But he didn't listen. Okay. So after Abraham had been living in Canaan 10 years, Sarah, his wife, took her Egyptian slave Hagar and gave her to her husband to be his wife. So he slept with Hagar and she conceived. Now they have a son. Okay. When she knew she was pregnant, Hagar, no, she was pregnant, she began to what? Despise her mistress. She began to despise her mistress. So this is the first thing. Sinful nature, am I right? Even your, your master give you the chance to bear the children, to be part of the formal family. Guess what? She's getting arrogant. She's getting prideful. And she starts to despise the mistress, the master, despite the Sarah. What Sarah did, Sarah said to Abraham, you are responsible for the wrong I'm suffering. Sarah is suffering now. So I put my slave in your arm. And now that she knows she's pregnant, she despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me. Guess what Abraham said? Hey, your slave is in your hand. Do with her whatever you think best. Sarah mistreated Hagar. So guess what? Eye to eye, teeth to teeth. Sarah. You despise me, my sinful nature. I'm going to despise you. I'm going to mistreat you. I'm going to step on you. Okay. So what happened to Hagar? Hagar had to flee from her. Then the angel of the Lord, the God, get involved now. Found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was a spring that is beside the road to shore. And he said, Hagar, slave of Sarah. The guy is very objective there. He just get the status clear. Hey, you're slave of Sarah. This is why God is the only one stay reasonable, stay level-headed. Okay. Where have you come from? And where are you going? The Hagar said, I'm running away from my mistress Sarah. She answered. Then the angel of the Lord told her, go back to your mistress and submit to her. Because this is God's plan. This is God's arrangement. So we all have a status in this world. If God put you in that status, just be obedient. You're always the boss. You like it or not, be obedient. You have a parent, you like it or not, be obedient. Because this is authority from God. Authority from God, okay. But God promised, okay, listen, I will increase your descendant so much that there will be too numerous to come. It's a key point. So Sarah's son is Ishmael. Ishmael is the ancestor of all the Arabian people, all the Muslim people. And Sarah's son, Isaac, is the ancestor of Jewish people. So this world, Middle East, have two big descendants. One is the Arabian people, Palestinian people. One is Jewish people. One is from Ishmael, from Hagar, the slave. One's from Sarah, the Abraham's wife. And this is what happened, okay, at the beginning. So the angel of the Lord also said to her, hey, you're now pregnant and you will give birth to a son. You shall name him what? Ishmael. For the Lord has heard of your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man. Ishmael is going to be a wild donkey, okay. And his hand will be against everyone. He's going to fight against everyone. That's what happened to the pretty much the terrorists of Palestinian, okay, fight against everyone. And everyone's hand against him. Pretty much the whole world against Palestinian terrorists, okay. And he will live in hostility. So Ishmael's descendant will live in hostility. And toward all his brothers. That means all Isaac and his descendant. Okay. So that means the Jewish people and the Palestinian people and the Arabian people are going to fight against each other. Because this is what I say. Why? It's not like God doesn't like a peace. It's because sinful nature of man. Hagar's sinful nature. Sarah's sinful nature. Ishmael's sinful nature. So since the beginning, the hatred started to build up already. Right? This is just the first part of it. Then you go to 21, chapter 21. So Isaac has a son now. I mean, Sarah has a son now, Isaac, okay. At age almost 100 years old, okay, Sarah, I think almost 100 years old, or Abraham 100 years old. So they has a son, and this son, Isaac, was weaned. Anybody know what the wean means? Stop the breastfeeding, okay. So you're 2 or 3 years old enough, you can feed yourself now, so stop breastfeeding. And on the day Isaac was weaned, Abraham held a great feast. But Sarah saw that the son whom Hagar, the Egyptian, had born to Abraham was mocking. So at that time, how old is Ishmael? Ishmael is 14 years old. So Ishmael saw that baby, maybe said, oh, it's over, little baby. Oh, you're 100 years old lady, and you keep born a stupid baby. They probably mock at her. Okay, mock at Sarah and Isaac. And she said to Abraham, get rid of the slave woman and her son. So that woman's son will never share in the inheritance with my son Isaac. Guess what happened? Simple nature, all right? Selfish, fight for the money, fight for the asset. Okay, everybody have a sinful nature. The matter distressed Abraham greatly because it concerned his son. But God said to him, say, do not be so distressed about the boy and your slave woman. Listen to whatever Sarah tells you, because it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned. I will make the son of the slave into a nation also, just like a promise in the Genesis 16, because he's your offspring. So early the next morning, what happened? Abraham took some food and the skin of water and gave them to Hagar. So, okay, you and your son leave. Here's the food, here's the water. It's desert everywhere. Okay, I just show you the picture of the settlement. It's desert everywhere. It's very hard to find a spring or river. You just say, hey, it's in God's hand now. Basically, you're on your own. And he set them on her shoulders and sent them off. She went down her way and wandered in the desert. Okay. When the water in the skin was gone, no water anymore. What do? You get tired, you get thirsty, you don't have a food, so both are ready to die. So she put the boy under one of the bushes. Then she went up and sat down about a bow shot away. For she thought, I cannot watch the boy die. A 14-year-old boy is going to die. So Ishmael is lying under the bushes, shadow of the bushes. And the mother just stay far away because she cannot just sit next to him and watch she die. And this is how sad it is. And guess what happened? Of course, she began to cry there. God get involved again. God heard the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven, and said to her, what is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lied there. Lift the boy up and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation. Again, God get involved. So the God opened her eyes and she saw a well of water. So she went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy a drink. So God was with the boy as he grew up. He lived in the desert and became an archer. Why become archer? Think about it. If you were Ishmael, 14 years old, you almost died under the shadow of the bushes. What do you feel? At that time, what do you feel? About Abraham, Sarah. What do you feel? A lot of what inside your heart? A lot of hatred, a lot of bitterness. And what do you want to do? You want to revenge. Eye to eye, teeth to teeth. And nobody going to mistreat my family anymore. Right? So what do you want to be an archer? Okay, you want to fight. Make sure I can kill everybody. Okay. So he lived in the desert and became an archer. While he was living the desert of Paran, his mother got a wife for him from Egypt. So this Arabian people start multiplying. But however, think about it. Right at the beginning of Genesis, the Jewish people, the ancestor, and the Arabian people's ancestor, it's not a friend. Okay, it's not a friend. And they hated each other to guts, no doubt about it, because I almost died because of you. Lara. I almost died because of you. So this is the root cause, okay? And this is, you can say it's God's plan, but God didn't want that to happen. But however, the human nature, human simple nature, and kill each other. All right. So what happened? With all these descendants, I mean, all the hatred on the beginning, people still killing each other. People still hurting each other for many, many, many years. And many people died. Many innocent people died, Lara, because this kind of root cause, because the simple nature, because the hatred, and because the bitterness. So the question is, the hatred, the bitterness, did it solve the problem? Did it solve the problem, Melody? Never solved the problem. You agree? Never solved the problem. People make you mad, and you're trying to get even with it. They solve the problem? Never solve the problem. It get better, or it get worse. It get worse and worse and worse. A lot of innocent people get killed. Am I right? Our sinful nature is always, I want to protect myself. If you get me mad, I'm going to get mad at you. I want to make even with you. Am I right? This is what happened in this world. It can happen in your family, in your school, in your classmate, in the church with a friend. It's always like that. You hate people, people hate you back. I have a friend like most of my friends like 70-something years old now. One of these two gentlemen at a cop, we had a party. They argued with each other. Finally, one pounded the table and said, I would never talk to you anymore. They've been friends for 30, 40 years. They never talk to you. So either you or me. They never talk to each other anymore. That's happened 2 years ago. Can you imagine? People as a sinful nature, easy to get emotional. I think even teenagers like you guys are more mature than 72 years old. God, gentlemen, okay. But however, you have your moment of emotional. I'm pretty sure, okay. Get upset and the bitterness, of course, it will take time to die off. Okay? But unfortunately, these things did not die off and getting worse and worse. So what is the solution? Elisha, what do you think is the solution? What do you think is the solution? Hatred and bitterness from generation to generation. Or what's the problem? What's the problem of this fundamental issue between human beings. I say, what is the problem? No? Jeffrey, what is the problem? Huh? No, I know. But why do they fight? Why did Sarah and the Hagar create this kind of problem at the beginning? Simple nature there. All simple nature. Now, how do you solve the simple nature? How? With God? How about Caleb? How do you solve simple nature? Huh? You can't? How about Melody? What do you think? Can you solve the simple nature problem? Probably how? With God? Or with somebody else? Jesus, that right? Jesus. Why do you think Jesus come to this world? You want to solve the simple nature problem. Because you have a simple nature, I forgot to mention, there's another force behind all this, that is Satan. Satan is behind all this. If you have a emotional distress, Satan can take advantage of. If you have a hatred, Satan can take advantage of. So Satan can push you, start killing the people. The sinful nature become a sinful behavior, become a sin, become a crime. All right. So Satan is pushing all this. Why Satan want to do this? Because Satan is against God. All right. Satan is against God. They want to make sure all God's people against God. So what is the solution? It's what Jesus said. Okay, I didn't say this. Okay, anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. That's interesting. Okay, it would take a while to understand this. Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Whoever does not take up their cross and to follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds their life will lose it, and whoever lose their life for my sake will find it. What does that mean? Shouldn't we love our father and the mother? Yes or no? Yes. But what did Jesus say here? Jesus and God is above everything else. Think about this. Does Ishmael love his mother Hagar? Very much. Am I right? And does all the Jewish people love their family? Very much. Their family connection is very strong. But guess what happened? Did they hurt their family? 1,400 people get killed. Am I right? The innocent baby, woman, the mother get killed. So they love their family. What's the end result? They hurt their family very bad. Same thing for the Palestinian people. Do they love their family? Yes. But now they don't have a house for their family to live. And many families die. The baby cannot be taken care of. There's no milk for them. Yes, you love your family, but did you really hurt your family? It hurts. Am I right? So that's why Jesus said, hey, love me first. Okay, love me first. Then you can love your children, love your parents. If you don't love me, your love for anybody else useless because you cannot protect your family. I'm the one protecting your family. Okay, I'm the one change everybody's life. Okay. So that's what it say. Whoever find their life will lose it. What does that mean here, life? Means, hey, my family is my life. My asset is my life. Everything I own is my life. Okay, you want to own everything, you don't have Jesus, you don't have God, you lose everything. Am I right? But however, whoever lose their life, so okay, I'm going to put you the first. My life is all about you. My life is about Jesus. My life is about God. My life is not about what I own. Then suddenly, everybody has life. Your family doesn't have to suffer. Your kid doesn't have to suffer. And you don't have to suffer. This is the most important part about God's teaching. I mean, Jesus' teaching. That's why what's the answer for the root cause? The root cause is those people have a sinful nature, but they don't have life. Am I right? What is life? Life is spirit. Inside of your heart. Life is spirit. So if your spirit doesn't grow, doesn't mature, what happens? It's misery everywhere. The smarter you are, the more misery it causes the people around you. Am I right? So that's why lack of life is the root cause. Lack of life for the old people. I mean, the Old Testament, even for today, is where the problem. Lack of life is the problem. So then the question is, why Jesus come? Remember what Jesus said, I come here so you can get what? You can receive life, and receive life to the abundance. So Jesus come here to give everybody life. So you don't have to suffer for all the hatred, bitterness, emotional turmoils, all those problems. You don't, because you have a life. So people can scream at you, saying, that's okay. I have God, I have Jesus. I'm not worried how do you look at me. I know who I am, because I have life inside. I'm a good person. I have a life. I'm strong. I don't have to be jerked around by your emotional, up and down. People are emotional. Okay, even the family, parents, the kids, they're all getting emotional. But if you accept Jesus, you have life. And that's why I love the American word called cool. Oh, this guy's cool. You do whatever. I know what I'm going to do. Okay, I know who I am. I know I have a power. I'm not going to get jerked by you. No, I'm not going to jerk around by you. That's called cool. Right? Do you agree? No, I love that word. All the teenagers trying to be cool. I love it. I think it say, hey, that means, hey, I'm not getting involved with your fighting argument. Cool, I dress cool. I look cool. I act cool. I got straight A. So what? Something like that. I call cool. That cool. You have to have a power inside. Okay. If you don't have power inside, you're not cool. That's why I love all those. Like a SEAL Force, Delta Force, all the special forces people, they look really cool. They're nice, look nice, but when they're really to fight, they can do a lot of tough things, That's called cool. And Jesus is cool. Do you remember that prostitute get caught commit adultery? Hundreds of people say, kill him, use a stone, just throw at him, try to kill her. But Jesus walking and just kneel down and drawing something on the dirt. Everybody say, don't say anything. That's cool. Everybody gets so emotional. He walks in and say, hey, if any of you never commit sin, go ahead, kill her. Everybody just walk. Everybody just walk. That's called cool. Jesus had all the power. He never get emotional. He's just trying to solve the problem. That's why I think it's nice to be cool. I really love that word, cool. Okay. Even in Chinese, they have this word now, cool. Chinese word for the cool? Cool. 这个家伙很cool. Okay. I love that word. I want to be a cool guy. Yeah. Okay. Then what Jesus say? Do not take revenge. Do not take revenge, my dear friend, but leave room for God's wrath. If whoever is not doing the right thing, let God get mad at them. Okay. For it is written, it is mine to avenge. I will repay. So if somebody mistreat you, what do? You get even with them or let God take out? My experience, God's revenge is 10 times worse than I thought. Okay. If I want to give somebody a hard time, I scream back, useless. But God's revenge, God's worst revenge for the enemy to the God's people is what? They send them to hell. Send them to hell. It's forever fires burning. Forever buck is there. For the lady, forever the buck is there. For the guy, forever the fire is burning. Let God take care of it. Because if we just live this next 56 years, you want to do a lot of things temporarily. But however, life is eternity, God controls. God will make everything work for the people who love you. Okay. So don't worry about it. That's how you can become a coup, because hey, God's there. Life eternity. I don't have to solve this tiny problem with you now. You're just wasting my time. Okay. I have a lot of big picture there. Okay. I have a lot of more to accomplish. Okay. That's cause pretty cool. So do not take revenge, my dear friend, but leave room for God's rest. So it is written, it is mine to avenge. I will repay. And this is how God works. Okay? I will repay. And what the other thing Jesus say? Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. This is the most important motto for me, the most important lesson for me, the most important teaching for me for the last 30 years. When I work, you're going to have a lot of problems. Okay, I got a lot of bad people. A lot of bad people, their success is based on other people's failure. It's not necessarily based on their own accomplishment. So they want to see everybody fail, so he look relatively better. Am I right? If you all fumble or fall on the floor, I'm the only one sitting there. I'm the only one who looks good. But did I accomplish anything? I didn't accomplish nothing. It's not because you failed. So there's some people with that simple nature love to see everybody else fail. So they're trying to badmouth you. They're trying to set trap to make you fail. And they don't have to accomplish anything that looks better. Okay, this is the worst thing can happen in any work condition. But there are always this kind of people there. Very unfortunately. So what do? You get mad at them, you scream at them, then you look as stupid they are. Now when the boss comes and says, oh, your boss get fired, is that right? So the only way, focus on God, focus on Jesus, accomplish what you need to accomplish. Okay, God had a plan for you to be a successful person. Remember, I told you the target to be a successful person. So you want to be successful. You want to stay cool. You focus on God because God's almighty. God is justice. God's everything. So you don't worry about it. Okay. So for my last 30, 40 years experience, I practice this. Blessed are the peacemaker. You help other people make peace. You make peace with people all the time. Guess what? Almost 100% time, it works. If you want to stay cool, stay calm, and communicate with each other, have a win-win situation, and make peace, you succeed. I seldom fail on trying to make peace. Well, you can always walk away with that, right? If this guy is so bad that you don't want to even talk to him, just walk away. And in Chinese, it's called lahi. I just block his communication ID, that right? I just take the phone number away. That's all I do. I never connect with them anymore. Okay. Because some people, you just cannot reason with them. I just lahi, okay. Just block out that number. That's how it is. So you're out of my life now. You're out of my life. Okay. Such a simple action you can take there. It's so important to be children of God because God taking care of you. God taking care of you. So if you're a peacemaker, you say, hey, I'm God's children. A peacemaker, I'm God's children. You can choose to fight. I love harmony. Okay, I love harmony. But one of my friends, he's a senior VP at the Texas Instrument. He loves to fight. He loves the conflict. Every time he's sitting there, when the conflict show up, you can see he starts smiling now. Say, okay, let's deal with this now. I got a big kick out of it. It's so interesting. He's just like that kind of personality. He loves conflict. Okay. It's very interesting. But I love peace. I love harmony. Okay. And you have heard that it was said, again, this is Jesus said, eye for eye and tooth for tooth. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. There's a lot of evil person. Don't fight against them. Don't fight against them because Satan behind them. Okay, so you don't need to waste your time. Okay, if anyone slap you on the right cheek, and turn to them the other cheek also. If anyone wants to sue you and take your shirt, hand over your coat as well. If anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2 miles. Give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you. Is this cool? It's why you call cool. I would say this is a definition of cool, being cool. Okay. You have a big heart. You have a lot of power. You have a lot of strength. You have a lot of confidence. And God give you all the support. What do you worry about? Why, get bitch about all these tiny things? No, you don't. Yeah, because a little anger can become big angry, and then everything just fall apart. Yeah, just fall apart. So be a cool guy. Yeah, be a cool guy. Whenever people fighting, say, hey, calm down, calm down, calm down. That's what I love to do. When I saw people arguing, fighting, hey, in Jesus' name, calm down, calm down, calm down. I saw once in the gym, a teenager girl was fighting there. I was say, what are you doing? I was up there and said, hey, stop it. Look, we were just playing. No, stop playing around. And just calm down. Okay. Otherwise, I think somebody's going to play pretty quick. It's interesting. They were playing around a little bit, then they're getting serious, fighting against each other. But anyway, that's our job. Peacemaking, Lara. Peacemaking. If you stay cool, most of the time people will listen to you because they lose their temper. They're out of control, and Satan is pushing them around. If somebody with Holy Spirit walking, Satan get away. Satan just run away. Okay. They didn't just run away. So why in the Old Testament say eyes to eyes, eyes for eyes, teeth for teeth? In the Old Testament, that's what they teach. Am I right? Eyes for eyes, teeth for teeth. And one kick back with another kick there, kick for kick. Why that? The New Testament, Jesus tells you not to do that. What's the difference? If both are Bible, why different that? It's a big, big question. Lisha, why? Huh? Oh my, you're falling asleep. I'm saying why in the Old Testament, in the Exodus, the Bible will say eyes for eyes, tooth for tooth, and kick for kick. But in the New Testament, Jesus say here, no, you don't do that. Okay. What's the difference? I talked about just at the beginning of this. What's the difference? This is a major difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament. Major, major difference. Remember, Jesus say, I come here so you can receive life. Am I right? So in the Old Testament, people don't have life. They don't know spirits. They don't have the Holy Spirit live in them. So they don't have life. What they have is a physical, reasonable understanding, but you don't have spiritual maturity. They don't have life, can grow with Holy Spirit. So all they can think about is how we should be able to keep this world peaceful with law. That's why a lot of law. Okay. But that's why in the Hebrew, say law is a shadow of the real thing. Real thing is Jesus. Law is just a shadow. It's just a projection on the ground. Okay. When the Jesus real thing happened, you should ignore the shadow. You should just look at the real thing. Okay. The real thing is life, abundant life. The shadow is a lot of law to control your behavior, to control your thinking. Okay. To keep the whole society organized. Okay. That's law good. But in the New Testament, love is above all the law. So Jesus say here is love. Have a big heart, have the life, have the spiritual maturity, so you don't fight with people. Guess what? If you can do this, your family will not get hurt. People will not hate each other. And you are smiling all the time, peaceful, joyful. If people make you mad, you stay cool. Okay. I'm go back to eat my hamburger. Okay. I don't lose nothing. Okay. I don't lose sleep. I don't lose my appetite. Even you call me stupid. Okay. Even you call me incompetent. I know who I am. God make me the way I am. Nobody can change it. Yes, my IQ is not very high. It's not very low. 130, 130. You're not going to add one. You're not going to subtract one from me just because you get mad at me. Or just because the way you criticize me. No, I'm not going to change. I'm the way I am. God make me today now. It's not going to get better. It's not going to get worse. It will get better next time, next day, because I keep improving myself. As of today, I am who I am. That God make me the way it is. That's it. That's how I stay cool, Lara. You're not going to influence me. You're not going to change me. You're not going to make me worse. No way. Okay, that's the way you stay cool. So this is what the solution for all the Middle Age crisis. I mean, not Middle Age crisis, Middle East crisis. Okay, but who's the one can solve this Middle East crisis? Who's the one in this world? Of course, Jesus. But in a more practical term, okay, which country had the power to fix this problem? United States, the only one had the power to fix this problem. Am I right? Do you remember 9/11? When 9/11 happened, how old are you? 2 years old? You were not born. Oh my. We're really old. I'm really old. So the 9/11 happened. 3,000 or 4,000 people get killed. Okay. Well, that's why it's so serious in Israel now. Israel people, America has 50 times of Israel the population. So 1,300 people get killed. It's more like what? 65,000 people get killed in the terrorist attack. Can you imagine if Americans 65,000 people get killed? That's very bad. 9/11 gets 3,000 people get killed. But guess what happened the first thing next morning? If that happened, everybody hates Palestinian people, Muslim people, am I right? Everybody hates. But George Bush, the first thing he did is went to the mosque and visited all the leaders of the Muslim people. He's trying to pass the message, say, hey, this is a small group of terrorists, had nothing to do with the Muslim people. Let everybody calm down. Everybody learn to accept the difference. This is what American country, okay? This is what the Christian culture. And George Bush is a very good Christian, okay, very good Christian. And the people around him, they teach him the lesson. If I were the president at that time, was just get rid of all those Muslim people, just drive them out of the country. I would do that because I'm not as mature as he is. But he is pretty mature. A lot of advisor. This is what Americans so beautiful. Even in the school, I think a lot of cool people there. Hey, don't argue, don't fight, Okay. So I think that's the right way to do it. Okay. That's the right way to do it. And that's what the Christian culture is all about. The biggest Christian country and the most powerful Christian country is United States and United Kingdom. That's why they two always come together. But however, unfortunately, they were controlled by Jewish people because they have all the political power, they have all the money. So that's what we need is American need a real Christian leader, have all the courage to do the right thing. And then the Middle East crisis can be solved. Because I only talk about peace. I'm going to make peace. I'm going to put all the power together, make sure everybody is peaceful. If I were in charge, it's very simple to solve the problem. You know how do I solve the problem? Okay, Israel need to expand the settlement. I'll let it do that. But then you have to put the money, build a nice high-rise building for all the people you get driven out by you living in the nice high-rise building. Okay, and you put the money, build a nice environment of Palestinian people, and you give them all the authority. Okay, and I let you control all the terrorists. Okay, we work together to wipe out all the terrorists. It's easy. We have all the power. We have all the money. So easy. We just need the right leader. That's all it is. But unfortunately, the leader is controlled by Jewish money, by Jewish politicians. So not much we can accomplish there. Okay. So we can do it by just keep insist on the Christianity. And by unfortunately, all the American leaders, all the presidents were raised from the church, 40, 50 years in the church. Guess what? They didn't learn much. Did they learn much? They didn't learn much. So that's a shame about whole thing. That's a shame about it. We need a real Christian leader in the United States and take a lot of word problem. Okay, any question? Any question?